All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody tuning in. Welcome to another weekly Outlook video where I'll be going over a couple of pairs that I'm looking at going into this new week. All right, so starting out with Euro CHF, this isn't really a new setup, rather it's just one that I've been holding, and I just want to give you guys an update on this trade. All right, but here you can see that there's a nice steady downtrend with lower lows and lower highs being made on Euro CHF. We broke this region of support here and we came back to retest that region beautifully. So I basically caught an entry after a break outside of this zone of consolidation. You could call it an ascending channel. So we broke that ascending channel, we got a nice retest, and that's a beautiful trade and a decent amount of profit with SL basically at entry. But I am basically still holding this pair because if we want to continue this downtrend, then we have to make a lower lows. So ultimately, I'm targeting some of these previous lows here in the market, but I'll collect some more profit at my profit taking target that you see here denoted in green. All right, so definitely still having a long bias on Euro CHF going into this week. All right, so coming over to Euro Mexican Peso, you can see a nice burst to the upside, but now we've actually had a wedge breakout, and it seems like we're struggling to continue this uptrend, right? So if we zoom in on price, come over to the 4-hour time frame, you can see we've beautifully broken a level of support, and we've come back to retest that level, right? So if we can come back into that retest zone, then I may look for a potential short opportunity, right? So I like to execute near significant levels of support and resistance. You can see the market is already plateaued from that region, but if we can get a retracement back to this region, given that it seems like we've started a downtrend, right, with these lower lows and lower highs, as well as the wedge breakout, I would look for a potential short opportunity as well on Euro Mexican Peso. We'll see how that plays out and how the market behaves going into this new week, but definitely a short bias, right? So we had this huge impulsive move, and it seems like we're now in sort of a retracement phase, right? All right. So coming over to Bitcoin USD, you can see a nice steady uptrend on this pair. I'm basically looking to see if we can get some sort of retracement back to this level of broken resistance. And if we can retest that zone as support and get those rejections that I look for and personal confirmation before I enter a market, I may look for a potential buy continuation on Bitcoin, right? I may look to enter for a long opportunity. So I'm not really anticipating this to play out necessarily this week, but it's definitely one of those pairs that I'm keeping an eye out on because if we can get that retest, I see a nice, beautiful potential to catch a great trade to the upside. All right, so coming over to USD CZK, you can see a nice steady downtrend, right? So lower lows and lower highs being made. And I'm basically waiting to see if we can get a retest back into this zone of broken support, right? So if we can retest this level of broken support and retest it as resistance, then I may look for a potential short opportunity, given that we have been in a pretty decent downtrend on USD CZK, and I'm just looking to go with the flow of price, right? And being that we are in a downtrend, I'm targeting some of these previous lows because we have to revisit previous lows if we want to continue a downtrend, right? Just the logic of how the market moves. All right, and also I am looking at platinum going into this week. So here you can see that, and I'll pull out a trend line just so that it pops out a little bit more. But here you can see that we were making steady higher highs and higher lows, but now we've broken that trend. We're now struggling to create that higher high and higher low. And not only that, but we've broken back below a level of support, right? We've come back to basically make a triple top in this region, right? So Broke support, came back to retest it here, and here we are again for the third time, right? So depending on how the market behaves going into this new week, I may enter for a potential short opportunity, as we have created a new downtrend and I'm looking to take advantage of that potential move back to the downside, right? So something else that I do want to point out is also the fact that we do have sort of a, let me delete all that. We have sort of a head and shoulders coming into play, right? Where we have the shoulder, right? Left shoulder, the head, and then this right shoulder. All right. So just adding up a little bit of confluences to support my bias to the downside here on Platinum USD. All right, so those are the pairs that I'm looking at going into this new week. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you appreciate this type of content, definitely leave a like down below, as well as comment any pair that you want to see covered in next week's video. And of course, do not forget to subscribe for future content like this. All right, so with that, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll check back with you guys very soon. Peace.